And how did you land on family law then?
Well, I was one of very few women actually practicing, so I was getting a lot of women looking for a woman attorney, and then ultimately a lot of men were looking for a woman attorney, and then I just narrowed my practice to family law because I was getting a lot of clients in that area, and then I decided that I should just limit my practice to what
To
I
that?
could I could be, really good at and specialize in. Although we
Yeah.
didn't have any specialization, that's how it ended.
Mm. So give us two or three career highlights, things that stand out when you look back.
Well, there's a lot of them. I've represented some very powerful people because I'm in Washington, DC.
I can
So
only
I've
imagine.
I
It would
I've
be like a Netflix story.
I've represented a lot of people whose names even you would recognize being in London. People who would come to my office, and when they got a call from, the White House, they'd have to go back into their car where their Secret Service people were to chat with them. We tried to keep everything, out of the press. I was pretty good at doing that for the most part. Um, but I ended up having to testify in a trial in federal court where they here in the Northern Virginia area try the terrorists because my client was murdered by her husband.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up having to testify in that case.
What would your top tips be for young family lawyers today?
Top tips would be to put family first. I think we all have a really hard time juggling the time between our clients and our duties and obligations to the organizations to which we belong and our families. And clients come and go. I often say, you won't remember the name of the client that caused you to miss your child's soccer game, but you'll always remember that you missed your child's soccer game. So, especially when you have younger children, it's really important that you manage your time so that you literally put your family first.
Mm,
Celebrate everything you can celebrate, the magical moments with family and friends, because everybody gets older and, we've unfortunately lost some treasured friendships over the last few years.
mm.
So I think that's number one. Number two is be sure that you get paid for your time, because if you decide that you want to volunteer, that's wonderful, and we all do, and we all should, but don't let your client decide that. You decide it.
I think
And
that's
if
so one of my old bosses, Jill Doran, who you will have known through the IFL many years ago, she always used to say, "We are not a bank."
that's true, we're not a bank. And the other is if you have a client who's not taking your advice, let them go. It's difficult sometimes to fire clients. I always tell my mentees, if you need help firing a client, give me a call and I'll help you do it. And once you fire them, you never, ever, ever take them back again, no
Mm.
matter what. If
I
they
I
bring
made
you a
I made that mistake once in 2016. Never again.
if they bring you a check for 50,000 euros, if you've made the decision to fire them, don't take the money and take them back.
So let's turn to the International Academy of Family Lawyers as it is now, but matrimonial lawyers as it was when you joined it. How did you first become involved?
Well, I was in the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, and I knew a number of people who were in the International Academy and was doing international work, and thought that it would be worthwhile to join the International, and it was probably one of the best decisions I made in my career. I've made wonderful friends and been to wonderful places and learned amazingly fascinating things. But I think the most important thing is that I've developed friendships with so many people that I otherwise would never have had an
Mm.
opportunity to meet.
Tell us about what would happen with your meetings, because if I remember correctly, to use a post-COVID word, you had to pivot very quickly with one of them.
I took a huge step and decided to have a meeting in Washington, DC. That was in March of 2004, and it was a
Mhm.
little bit risky because it was just a few years after 9/11,
Indeed.
and we weren't really sure, what would happen there.
Mm.
We were at the Hay Adams Hotel, which is across the street from the White House,
Mhm.
and everything worked perfectly. The cherry
Brilliant.
blossoms were in full bloom.
Mhm.
Everyone got to go to the White House. Everyone got a tour of the Capitol, and everyone was able to go to Friday night dinner at the US Supreme Court, where we were hosted by Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Give me some highlights from your presidency. What would stand out for you?
We decided to reach out to other organizations like Law Asia, and I had two initiatives that I was promulgating as a result of my relationship with Anne Marie. And one dealt with forced marriage or child marriage, and the
Mhm.
other dealt with international surrogacy issues. And until that time, we had just been a travel club. I mean, it was lovely. We
Mm.
went to beautiful places. We had good CLE.
Yeah.
We got to get to know each other, but we didn't have any initiatives.
Mm.
And I thought, we've got brilliant minds. We've got so much knowledge, and the people in this organization are so connected. Why don't we do something with it, right?
Yeah.
I am so very proud of our
Yeah.
organization and the brilliant people in it who are so knowledgeable and creative and willing to give of their time to advance these issues, because nobody else had the
Mm.
connections or the ability to do what the IAFL has accomplished. I am
Yeah.
just so proud of where it's gone.
If you were pitching the organization to a new fellow, give them 3 reasons why they should join us.
The knowledge, the wisdom, the willingness to make the world better, not just family law, but basically make the world better, is
Mm.
just unbelievable. The people in this organization are just first rate. We do get to go to very nice places. I mean,
We
before I
do.
joined the International Academy, I did not travel. I
Mm.
mean, it was, I I had traveled in the United States and a little teeny bit outside, but I never would have had the experiences that I have had visiting, countries and cities that I have had. But the most important, I think, is the knowledge that we gain from each other. I mean, not just about family law, and I guess that's tied to the collegiality as well. And
Mm.
we learn from each other. So it's not just going out to eat and not just, liking each other, but we learn, and it's not just family law.
Do you have a vision for the future of the organization?
I think that we will continue to affect the world for the best. This little teeny organization, I mean, it's only
Yeah.
like 600 lawyers. I mean, we're not 6,000.
No,
We're not we're
no.
not like the American Bar Association, but this little teeny organization is so rich with value and
Mm.
people who are hardworking and willing to give of their time and energy and knowledge, that we will impact the world for the
Mm.
better.